continue with a little from the back. According to Hindus, that is a concept of 10 incarnations. 9 have already taken place, and the 10th, which is Kalki, is yet to happen. All other incarnations were born, but Kalki is not a physical being to be born as other incarnations have been born. But this is the birth of a higher consciousness within us. It is a state of beyond enlightenment. When human consciousness has fulfilled its purpose, its dharma, love, intellect, then Kalki is born within the soul, born, and soul attains its ultimate fruition. You have to attain to physical maturity, emotional maturity, intellectual maturity. Then something is born in you which is beyond, which is not of the body, not of the mind, not of the intellect. These represents the growth of consciousness through psychic centers or chakras or 9 states of development as narrated by Sufis. Sufis have explained the 9 mukams or the stages in the process of transformation of human consciousness. The very word Kalki comes from the root that means that the 3 aspects, the past, the future, there is certainly something between these 2 limits. Verily, Kalki implies a state that which is of the beyond. Which is of the beyond is not a physical being to be born sometimes in future. Kalki is you. When you have attained to the highest state of consciousness, beyond body, beyond mind, beyond intellect, then something evolves out of you. Kalki is born in you as the ultimate fruition, or in other words, to be born in you as you must fulfill the religion, the essential nature, not the outer nature. Love, expression of inner bliss and growth of heart center and intellect. There is a harmony between the kalb, nafs and ruh. The symbol of fish represents a new process of evolution that has begun but still has to attain to fruition, the ultimate fruition. That's why there is a symbol of fish in the birth of Lalaji. These were puzzle pieces related to the manifestation and manifestation of absolute consciousness in human form as Lalaji. As the process continues, I will go on speaking the other pieces of this mystical puzzle. The process has begun. It will continue through various phases, some of which relate to political, while others relate to cultural disintegration. All these have influenced the process of evolution of the tariqat of myriad paths, the Naqshbandi tariqat. Finally, it culminated when Lalaji came in the company of Naqshbandi Sheikh Maulana Fazl Ahmad Khan. The advent of the blanket-wrapped mystic appearing at the door of the mother of Lalaji, asking for fish which was not assumed, which was not conceived of in that household. but it was there, available, and it was offered to the mystic. Then his invocation and blessing for the birth of Lalaji and Chachaji, then the conception. All these are many pieces of the jigsaw puzzle associated with the birth of Lalaji. And the another chapter was opened when he came in the company of his Sheikh Hazrat Maulana Fazl Ahmad Khan. And now comes the another puzzle. Almost 100 years ago, Hazrat Abul Hasan Nasirabadi made a forecast and he narrated it to his chief disciple Maulana Ahmad Ali Khan, who happened to be the master of Maulana Fazl Ahmad Khan, that two people from Hindu religion will come and they will be the true inheritor of this spiritual wealth. Khalifa Sahab, as he is popularly known as Maulana Ahmad Ali Khan, he waited throughout his life, and when his time was coming to an end to enter the life beyond, he told his disciple Maulana Fazl Ahmad Khan, maybe this forecast my master saw you through me, and this forecast is for you. So now this is the second chapter that is opening. The second piece of the jigsaw puzzle, how Lalaji happened to come in the company of his Sheikh Maulana Fazl Ahmad Khan. Within a year after the visit of the blanket-wrapped mystic to the family was born a child as the embodiment of Noor, the light, on 2nd of February 1873 on the auspicious occasion of Basant Panchami. It is the 5th day according to the Hindu calendar in the full moon period. Basant is associated with the gaiety, blossoming of the flowers, the end of the winter, the festival that announces the arrival of the spring of the seasons. And again, after 2.5 years, on 7th of October 1875, existence manifested as another boy child. He happened to be known as Raghuvar Dayal, popularly known as Chachaji. The world came to know the eldest child as Ramchandra, Lalaji and his younger brother as Raghuvar Dayal Chachaji. In times both attained status of sheikhs of the Naqshbandi, Mujaddadi, Mazhariya order of Sufis and nourished and nurtured humanity with light and awareness that embodied through the two. Early life up to the age of 7 was spent in the company of his mother. On the eve of 109th Nirvan Divas, celebration of Sheikh Lalaji, the important letter of Hazrat Qibla Maulana Fazl Ahmad Khan, which I will speak on sometimes later. The letters that was written by Maulana Fazl Ahmad Khan to Lalaji in response to various questions and the lack of interest amidst the seekers, and each one of them was trying to go through the tug of war that he is the real inheritor of the spiritual wealth of Lalaji. So these letters I will speak in subsequent sessions, but at the moment I am continuing with the early life that relates how Lalaji happened to come in the company of the Sheikh. A moment comes when the master can be silent, but that is possible only when the disciple has come to relate to the master in a totally different way from the heart. The first and the basic tenet to be understood is that truth is attained in emptiness and is lost in words. Truth is attained in silence and is lost in words. Truth has no language. All languages are untrue. Sufi Ramchandra is a Naqshbandi master who visited this planet between February 1873 and 14th of August 1931. Nearly 100 years before his advent, a forecast was made about his coming by another Sheikh of the Tariqat, Hazrat Abul Hasan Nasirabadi. Sufi Ramchandra is popularly known as Lalaji by the followers of the Tariqat. He lived in a small town called Fatehgarh in the district of Farrukhabad. His entire life is an embodiment that truth lies beyond all narrowness. He used to say, Betassubi sadakat ki jaan hai. To rise, Betassubi, tassub means narrow-minded. Betassubi means that which is beyond narrowness, is the essence of truth. To rise above narrowness is the essence of truth. The first Hindu Sheikh, Lalaji became the first Hindu disciple of Maulana Fazl Ahmad Khan of Naqshbandi order. In his diary, Lalaji wrote about the first meeting. At the very encounter of my spiritual dictator, he whispered into my ears, your life has been inclined towards the way of truth since long before. For this reason, it shall be revealed to you, and you yourself shall relate the truth to others, whosoever comes in your company. Relate the truth, relate the secrets of the divine principle in such a way as to make this transmission and the refuge in your words. Take the help of the shades to create your own disciple, and do not rely on anything but pure essence. After giving me such a hint, my spiritual director, my master, did not leave me on my own, but himself, acting as a shadow, provided me with his spiritual guidance for a period of 16 years. He ordered me to keep always apart from outer tenets of the tariqat. Outer tenets means ways, paths and methods, and finally infused me with the task of spreading his mission to whoever came in his company. On 29th of January 1896, Shah Fazl Ahmad Khan took Lalaji completely in his shelter and accepted him as his disciple. The same year, on 11th of October 1896, he conferred upon Lalaji full authority to work as a master after only 10 months of intensive training after his initiation. The authorization and approval. After some time, Maulana Fazl Ahmad Khan called a meeting in which many spiritual heads of the different religions and sects were invited. Fazl Ahmad Khan then presented Lalaji and told the assembled congregation, in my entire life, I have prepared only one person. Now, these are my last days. It appears to me to be the order of the great masters that I should give Putulal, as he used to call Lalaji, the full authorization and appoint him my successor. All of you who are assembled here are kindly requested to test him and concur in my decision or reject it. All who were present were asked to meditate, and Shah Fazl Ahmad Khan then asked Lalaji to give tawajjuh. Tawajjuh means transmission of a spiritual energy, which is meditation, and then to answer the questions that may be asked. Lalaji's brother Raghuvar Dayal, the grandfather Lalaji's younger brother, Sufi Raghuvar Dayal, who was also invited at the meeting, used to say that this session was an extraordinary happening. The experience was never repeated again. He has described his experience in detail during this sitting. Initially, there was a feeling of happiness. Then the thoughts started disappearing, and the state of thoughtlessness was there. There was total absorption. In this state, only the remembrance of God was there. All the masters of the orders appeared to be present. Gradually a light appeared, and that light alone was visible, not even one's own body. There was no land or sky. There was only light surrounding. The light appeared to be the real master, and one desired to completely merge with it. The question comes in, what is light? Is it light that we see, that is the light created by the friction of the two poles, the positive and negative, and when the resistance is there in between, the light manifests. But the light that I am talking about is the light of awareness, or you can say it is understanding. It is awareness. Something dawned. There is tremendous bliss and harmony within. The light appeared to be the real master, and that awareness, that understanding is the only master therein. One did not desire to come out of this state. This state remained for a long time after Maulana Fazl Ahmad Khan asked the meditation to be over. I can recall this incident when we used to have the meditation sessions. The meditation session is over. Specifically when we used to be at the shrine of Lalaji, or at the shrine of Chachaji, or at the shrine of Sufi Brij Mohan Lal, the meditation will continue for 30, 45 minutes, but the state of that blissfulness used to continue for a longer period of time. We used to remain engrossed in that state as if we are drunk. We have taken a high dose of alcohol. This is the only closest explanation. When you have taken a dose of alcohol, you take it orally. But here nothing is being done orally. Instead, everything is happening inwardly. It is the consciousness that it is the bliss that is overflowing. After this sitting, some questions were asked to Lalaji, and he answered them to all the assembled congregation of the masters. Delight. All the assembled congregation approved Maulana Fazl Ahmad Khan's decision to appoint Lalaji as his successor. The new era that was prophesied began. With Sheikh Lalaji, a new era was ushered in Naqshbandi Tariqat. Lalaji carried out the mission upon the commands of Maulana Fazl Ahmad Khan faithfully until he breathed last. He was the first Sufi master who used the language of Hindus, and won polarity among the Hindu community, and later his teachings were spread to the Western world. It was a beginning of a new era that blossomed what was prophesied long before. A forecast was made about it long before. It was the wave of time. The Lord of Justice, the director of this creation that read out loudly from the book of the destiny that was written long before. It was already destined within that this was to happen. A decision was taken long before within the assembly of the masters, and now the time was right for it to blossom. The process of evolution was continuing. The bud was growing, and time has now come for the bud to blossom, and it spreads its beauty and fragrance. When a tree is planted, it definitely bears fruits if the tree is watered daily. So the outer happening is the fruit of the inner happening. Sheikh Abul Hasan Nasirabadi, the great Grand Master of Maulana Fazl Ahmad Khan, had forecasted the event of initiating a Hindu disciple nearly half a century before. He told his successor, Maulana Ahmad Ali Khan, someone from whom Hindus came to enjoy your company, and since they possess the quality for this task, do not refuse them this incomparable treasure of spiritual heritage. However, Maulana Shah Ahmad Ali Khan could not fulfill his master's instruction, since no right person among the Hindu community came to him for this purpose. So when Khalifa Sahab, Sheikh Ahmad Ali Khan, authorized or bestowed the tariqat onto Maulana Fazl Ahmad Khan as his spiritual successor, told him he had not much time left in this world, and therefore he entrusted this task onto Maulana Fazl Ahmad Khan, These orders of my Sheikh could not be fulfilled by me. These will not remain empty words. Now they will manifest themselves through yourself. Maybe my master saw you through me, and this forecast is for you. The responsibility of granting Hindu access to the order of a spiritual heritage has to wait for another generation without having been accomplished by Maulana Ahmad Ali Khan, but through the meeting of Maulana Fazl Ahmad Khan and Lalaji, this forecast was fulfilled. The break of the Hindu barrier. Due to religious misconceptions, even Lalaji himself initially hesitated about his master being only a Muslim. Lalaji wrote, I considered that great personality who was in fact free from all bondage of religion and communal feeling, just a Muslim because of my worse thinking, just a Muslim. How communal. This entire untrue behavior of mine was revealed by none other than his wife. I was fortunate that it was she who made me realize my folly. Not did she save me from sinking, but also gave me guidance too. Her silent words seemed to sink into my consciousness. Saints and masters do not belong to any caste, creed, and religion or anything. They are free from all bondages. Take me also to that great saint. I am at your service. The woman's duty is to follow her husband. Without me, your wish will not attain fruition. For this insight, Lalaji took up on his wife as one of his teachers. After adopting Maulana Fazl Ahmad Khan as his master, worldly people complained that Lalaji had not been converted to Islam. So one day, Lalaji asked permission from his master to adopt Islamic religion. At this, Maulana Fazl Ahmad Khan told him, you should never think of such absurd ideas. Spirituality does not need following a particular religion. Spirituality seeks after truth and self-realization. That are the matter relates to soul, which is same in everyone regardless of outer label of religion that one belongs to. The time was ready for this happening. The seed was planted long before at another level, and now the tree has grown ready to bear the fruits as the destiny had preordered. The happening followed accordingly. I'll continue through the pages from the leaves from the Sufi Heart, Volume 3, in subsequent sessions. Until then, take care and do have a pleasant day.